Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener.
Band review, new to the channel, probably new to you too. You're gonna have to check this out.
Yeah, we get your song review, dear listener. But if you are in a band, we have the unsigned hype section. You just saw it over there. I actually think these guys are signed though. Actually,
it's up on Patreon. We have a tier on Patreon.
We try to get bands. You know, look, everybody listens to Metallica, Tool, blah 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 blah. But what about the next Metallica? What about the next Tool? What about the next? Have you thought about that? This is MAMMOTHOR, dear listener. The name of this song is PARASOMNIA. Is the name of this song, and the big homie Travis, who he actually did a little interview about this song. I've been hanging out with the homie. He's got a kid, I got a kid, so we were both talking about the sufferings of new fatherhood. He said, I've always had trouble sleeping. When I was a kid, I suffered from wicked night terrors. My parents even took me to a sleep study. Doctors did a brain scan to make sure nothing was wrong. I would seemingly wake up, but my mind would still be stuck in a nightmare, even though I was walking around with my eyes open. It was terrifying.
Jeez. Well, at least he's saying was.
Huh?
At least he's saying was, so maybe it doesn't happen anymore. Or maybe he's like, I'm not scared anymore, I still do it.
Yeah, maybe he's just a gangster now.
Yeah.
And has no fear, no fear!
You might scare your kid, though, when they get older.
You guys remember them shirts, like them no fear shirts? Do you remember the no fear shirts?
Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, there was like...
I don't, I just remember.
Big thing in the 90s, that was a no fear shirt.
Yeah, what was that for?
That was just...
It was around the same time as the Dare shirts, right? At the same
time? No, it's just a brand. It was like no fear. See right there, no fear, and that's how it was spelled too.
Yeah, whenever I saw those, it was around that same time period.
Yeah, so there you go. Okay, guys, here we go.
I thought it was.
This is the band MAMMOTHOR. The name of the song is PARASOMNIA.
Do we have lyrics?
We do have lyrics.
Excellent.
Let's do this shit.
Yeah, that No Fear company came out in 1989.
There you go, dear listener. You learn something new every day.
According to Wikipedia. So
this is the official video. Don't block us. Is that a girl? They got a girl in the band?
I can't. Wait. Sorry. We were working on this computer. So.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Unbelievable.
I was like, I'm not hearing anything.
How dare you?
I'm missing something.
How dare you?
All right, go ahead. Okay,
this is the official video. Hopefully, the band's label will not block us. Inshallah. Okay, we got the lyrics on this side of the screen. We got the thing, and then there's the least important is me and Soraya. All right, guys, here we go. MAMMOTHOR, PARASOMNIA. Let's do it.
Yikes.
Sleep
paralysis.
Shout out to Jim Foster for ruining everybody's night. We didn't watch a lot of horror movies in Jamaica before we moved to America. Mm-hmm. But was it the Boogeyman? I'm pretty sure it was the Boogeyman.
Is he scary?
Well, I mean, I was like 3 or 4. I mean, it
oh
was,
well, yeah.
I mean, terrifying.
It just I remember people saying the Boogeyman, ooh, the Boogeyman, but
the first thing I noticed about this song is that the emphasis on the bassist.
This guy?
Huh?
No, that's a professional wrestler. Never mind.
No, I'm telling you, I was 4.
Okay,
it was scary. What do you know about it? Listen.
I don't know. Okay, so what happened now?
Huh?
You were gonna say a story, I think.
No, I'm just saying, like, the Boogeyman was, like, literally the only... Like, I didn't even know there was... That was the problem. I didn't know there was such a thing as a horror genre when I was...
Oh.
Was in Jamaica. And to be honest with you...
Holy shit. Oh, no, that's 2005.
I don't even know why we were watching that shit.
Yeah, who was watching it with you?
This is in Jamaica. Like, it was weird. Like, the TV would only, like, pick up channels every once in a while. Mm-hmm. So it was like... I don't know, when there was this guy called Oliver at Large, and that was like a comedy thing. But anyway, the thing is on, and everybody was like around the TV. I was like 3 or 4, and like, here's the Boogeyman at night. I was like, holy shit! Like, I never even heard of like the horror genre or anything like that. So I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on here? Yeah, it's pretty terrifying.
How old were you? Like 4?
3, 4. It was like way before I came to this country. It's like one of my earliest memories was the freaking
my gosh.
Boogeyman or something like that. And yeah, it was pretty terrifying. Pretty terrifying stuff. It was weird. It was weird. And then when we got to the country, my older brother like started, he wanted to be cool. He wanted to watch Jason and Freddy and all the rest. Yeah, but he was he was scared of that shit.
But there's something that, I don't know.
Honestly, like after that, like the horror genre never really screwed with me after that. Like I didn't care. The stuff would never scare me after that.
Really?
After that one Boogeyman situation.
No way. Oh, wow.
I was like, well, I survived the Boogeyman,
Really?
whatever.
That was your mindset on it?
That was my mindset. I came to him. Plus, I had probably seen some pretty scary shit in real life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Considering the way I grew up. But, okay. Would this be? Let me look at that quote again, because I don't know what he's describing here. Is it sleep paralysis?
Oh, that's what it sounded like to me. But, honey, you put the lyrics, put them on this side so they'll be closer to me next time. So I could catch some of them because they were written kind of big. But
well, I put it that way because I didn't want people to miss out on the video. So
we'll just flip the video on the other side.
He had wicked night terrors. My parents had even took him to a sleep doctor. I would seemingly wake up, but my mind would be stuck in a nightmare, even though I was walking around my eyes open. That's a little. Most people talk about sleep
different.
paralysis.
Yeah, that's like sleepwalking terrors or something.
Sleep paralysis, where like you're kind of awake but you can't move, and there's like some shadowy figure.
Yeah, that's true. He said he was walking around.
He was walking around with his eyes open. That's not sleep paralysis. Terror. That's not sleep paralysis. That's I mean, night terror is still like kind of in the bed. Not like sleepwalking with your eyes open and still feeling like you're in a nightmare.
Walking terror?
That shit is... That's pretty unique. I mean, yeah,
I've never heard of that either.
It would make sense that he'd be in a... You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd have a specialist to go see him and have a brain scan. That tells me that his parents were observing that shit.
Yeah, it was probably pretty scary looking. Can you imagine seeing one of your kids coming out?
If you're one of those people...
Because kids are kind of creepy anyway, if they, you know what I mean?
100%
Like,
they're terrifying. Kids are terrifying.
Out,
when they're
you
quiet...
You scared your parents.
When they're quiet and shit, like, I've gone to, like... websites like most horrible things, terrifying things that little kids say. And there's this one woman, like, she's like, my 4-year-old was saying that he missed his friend, and blah, blah. It was like this friend that used to hang out in his closet and come to him when all the lights and stuff were off.
And he missed him?
Yeah, he stopped coming around. Like shit, like I've read stuff like that, bro. There's nothing scarier to me than a kid that's like on the. I'm not saying you are on the dark side, Travis. I'm just saying.
Our kids are our middle ones, I guess you could say. We have a 3-year-old and like one that's 2. So
yeah,
2-year-old and a 3-year-old. Yeah, we got a couple sets, but a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, and the 3-year-old has now hit the phase where he gets scared. So he'll like talk to us about it, you know.
Orion.
Yeah, he gets scared. So he'll be talking to us. And so I told him, I was like, look, whenever you get scared, you just pray, Jesus help me, and he's going to come, he's going to help you. And so he says, okay, all right. Well, the girls told me that they were going to hide in their closet. Now, I didn't actually think that through. Like, I thought it was going to be like, hide in there, listen to what they talk about, and then jump out and scare them and then get out of their room. But apparently they started realizing that the two babies were scared because Orion started praying. He's like, Jesus, help me! Help me, it's in my closet. It was the girls the whole time. So they came out and they stopped doing that because their intention, I guess, wasn't to scare him. I'm not sure.
So this is kind of, like, have you ever been in one of those dreams where it's like you get disappointed when you wake up?
Yes.
It's like such an awesome dream.
Yes.
Like this is like the inverse of that situation. Mm-hmm. Like you want to wake up.
Get me out of here.
So awake with me, escape with me. We speak in tongues. Now is our chance, and slowly run. So take my hand. That's funny because like if you're in like a super like religious like Pentecostal household, mm-hmm. like your parents would absolutely like be speaking in tongues over you.
Oh, for
if
sure.
If you had one of these night terrors.
Oh, for
Which,
sure.
If you're not really like familiar with that whole subculture, that might be more terrifying than
100%.
than
100%.
Whatever you're scared of. So like I wonder how many parents like that did the trick, but that's because the kid is more scared of that than the night terror. The kid would probably be like, I'll just deal with the night terror because I see you every day and you're starting to do all this.
Putting all this pressure on me now.
You close your eyes and you're paralyzed. So this is about that situation. It's interesting. They made the protagonist in this story was a girl, and it was trapped. But one of the things, my man, is I'm gonna have to see live you hit that note.
Oh, yeah.
He goes really
yep.
high.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he also does this thing where Maynard does it sometimes. It's like I think it's one breath. I'm not a vocalist, I can't tell. But like it starts with one breath, it starts out clean and then it gets grungy toward the end. So I want to see a live version of that demonstration.
We need proof.
I need evidence, damn it.
We believe that you had nightmares and you were walking around your house, but we are not sure about that high note.
Yeah, so
we need proof.
But it's interesting. He says he's paralyzed, but he was sleepwalking.
I know.
Or nightmare walking or whatever. Like
maybe he felt trapped in the dream. Like maybe he was also kind of lucid dreaming. Maybe he knew he was dreaming. And then feeling trapped in that nightmare.
No, because if you're lucid dreaming, you know you're dreaming. Like Yeah, but you kind of have control over it at that point.
Well, yeah, it depends.
Like
sometimes I know I'm dreaming, but I can't control what's happening.
Yeah, but you know it's not real.
Yeah, but there's always that bit of doubt.
Yeah, but like, are you ever afraid when you realize that you're dreaming? You've never said that. Like, you've never been.
No, that's true. Once I'm completely convinced it's a dream,
exciting.
Then I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I don't think that's my man's experience,
what can
bro?
I do to get away with it?
Yeah, like, man, he's got at least one kid now. I wonder if do you ever worry that shit like might be hereditary?
Wait a minute. What do you mean? The sleep paralysis or what he's experiencing?
Well, like, do you think that one of our kids is going to be able to be a lucid dreamer?
I hope they are.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So, like...
I do. I actually think Selah probably could do it if she put her mind to it.
That's the thing. Trav, respond in the comment section. Are you a lucid... Do you lucid dream? Also, did you get over it? Like, did it go away at some point? Because he said when he was a kid, or maybe sometimes those are just things that you just learn to deal with at that point. You see what I'm saying? Like maybe you just like, okay, you know.
I bet it was something that he got past, and then it didn't happen anymore. Like, because he's not still talking about it. Well, I don't know. It wasn't like it was completely clear that this was just past.
He's a grown man now. He's in a successful band. He's got a married kid. Like,
okay, if he was doing that as a grown man, that would probably scare his wife.
But like, it impacted him to the point where.
Well, yeah, that's scary.
You see what I'm saying?
Like sleep paralysis is scary enough, but like you're walking around the house. That's the first time I've ever heard of that.
Yeah, with your eyes.
Yeah, if you're in the comment section and you got to this point in the review, let us know if that's ever happened to you.
Yeah,
your eyes are
with your eyes
open,
with your eyes open, walking around
in a terror in a dream.
Yeah, that shit is no bueno, bro. Like, okay, so they started off with the bass, which I always appreciate, because when I got into metal, I mean, Korn fans, Korn actually really does feature the bass, but the way that they feature the bass is so different from everybody else. I mean, just down to the point where the bass is basically like another percussion instrument at that point, like the way that Korn does it. But then I got into more traditional metal like Metallica, and of course Metallica famously, you know, muted Jason's bass during Justice for All, which is like one of their more... Justice was like their most critically acclaimed album as far as like complexity goes in the musicianship, almost like a prog record for Metallica, and they completely turned off the bass. So ever since then, like, I got the message, oh, bass is trash, bass isn't important, blah 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 blah. It wasn't until actually we started the channel to where I started appreciating
the bass again.
Well, and the other thing too is like I didn't even know what to listen for in a bass. Because Fieldy's bass sounds like a click. It's like click, 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 click. I'll show it to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Fieldy's bass is just like a click, so you could like point it out in Korn, and obviously Korn is like they feature all the instruments separately, whereas like a lot of like traditional metal, it's all come into like one giant sound and all that. So I didn't understand how to like look for the bass, but this one. In the verse lines, they essentially featured the bass, and then you kind of had these like one chord kind of thingamajiggies to go along with it, but they were featuring the bass, which I think anytime that happens, I think that's really unique. If we had like a regular traditional garage band type situation where a bassist could say, okay, here is the line and you guys just follow it, you know, like that would be interesting. Like right now, it's not like that. As soon as I pick up the guitar, so this one, like, it was interesting. Like they featured the bass on the verse line, and then the guitar was kind of in the background, so they kind of inverted.
That's so funny. I just experienced everything all together. I didn't experience the differences of the bass and the guitar, and it was all like one sound to me that was like kind of flowing.
Well, it's probably because I'm a guitarist. I'm like,
you can hear all that, yeah.
Yeah, and then you can see. And then it was cool though because the guitarist, you could tell that he's skilled. Like, he had his time for his little solo. He shined. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like Maynard, where it's like Maynard is like the highest talent in the band, obviously. But then there's a lot of times when he'll like go in the background and feature the actual musicians, which I think is pretty cool. Not to say that Maynard isn't a musician, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, that takes a lot of discipline to be able to do that. Like, to know that you got that skill and like, oh, we could, but the bassist has skill too, which is pretty badass. So the musicianship I loved about that. The only thing for me about this song, I would have, especially considering the subject matter, I wish we had like another minute and a half. This song was, let me see. Let me pull this thing back up again. Parasomnia. It was where'd it go? 352. So like I would have.
Yeah, but what would you have added?
Well, maybe a little bit more about like really what that was like. You know, it's because I felt like that's such a unique.
So he told us what happened, but he didn't tell us how he felt about it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like a little bit more of like into his child mind, like what was going on. Maybe something like in the middle a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because what he's talking about is
it could be the voice of his internal mind freaking out.
Well, it's really unique because we've heard of night terrors and we've heard of sleepwalking, but I have never heard of sleepwalking with your eyes open and still living in it. That shit is like, a lot of people sing about, oh, this is a living nightmare, blah blah blah, but like, how many people that we like reviewed thousands of songs, literally, how many people actually literally were in a walking like nightmare?
Yeah.
Like, that to me is like so unique. We've heard of sleep. We've done, you know, Ozzy. We've done songs with sleep paralysis and things like that. I wish like there was a little bit more like what that shit was like. especially when
and
when
I
you're
wonder
a
if he was
kid.
seeing what's in his head or if he was seeing the room, but then like dream terrors were entering the room.
Yeah,
what was
well, he
you know?
did. Yeah, that's what. Like in the lyrics, he says, like you're familiar with this place. You know this place. It sees your face. You close your eyes. You're paralyzed. So that could be like the place in the dream, or it's his house.
Mm-hmm.
So see, that's the other thing that would like freak me out a little bit. Would be like if you're in a situation like in a bad, let's say you're at a 7-Eleven and some horrible thing happens, right? So for the rest of your life, you're like, yeah, I'm going to avoid 7-Eleven and go to the, Cumberland Farms or whatever the little local shop is. You know what I'm saying? But like if you had a living nightmare in your house, like in your kitchen, and that's the other thing is like, did he remember afterward, or was it one of those things where his parents woke him up and said, Travis? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, but like if he remembered, like, yo, last night I was in the kitchen and like this killer clown was trying to stab everybody in the house and all that, and then boom, you wake up and you're in your kitchen and the knife is exactly where it was in your dream and all the, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, oh yeah.
that shit, right? Like, what was that? Like, remember that Pokemon thing that came out a couple of years ago when people were like using the thing and you could see.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, it's still your kitchen, but then you're seeing
Right,
this
yeah,
sort
that's
of
what I'm saying.
image.
Did the dream enter the room like that?
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, so
Yeah.
like if that happened, and then like, oh, we're back in the kitchen. Only this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then how do you slice what the real world is and what the dream world is in that situation? Like if your eyes are open and you're walking around, especially if you recognize like this is my kitchen, this is the living room, this is my basement, this is my room. How are you able to, like, unless you were lucid dreaming, right? Like where you'd be like, oh, this is a dream. But so there, I got a lot of questions. So I'm like, damn, I wish there was a little bit more lyrics that would have like talked about like that type of thing, like being in the waking world and knowing that that's such a fast the top. Like I'm gonna be doing, you know how I get with that shit. I get really obsessive.
He's gonna find out if there's anybody else like you.
I'm gonna find what that's called, man, because that must have been really. They did a brain scan. That shit ain't cheap.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too. It's like when you're young or when you're a child and you say, "Oh, there's something under my bed." Your parents are usually pretty condescending. "Oh, sure, there's something under your bed." There's nothing under your bed, right? But like, they took him to the. So that means they must have observed that, which should have been terrifying. I don't know. Bro.
And like, I don't know how well his parents hid it. Like, when
like
something's
hid their
happening,
terror
yeah,
at
like
him.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
what would that be like to be a kid and like kind of sideways looking at your parents, knowing they're sideways looking at you? Like, that'd be weird, right?
Yeah, especially like if you were in a religious household.
Yeah.
Because I think like if you're like in a regular household, like people are going to try to find a scientific explanation for, and I think that that's the right thing to do. Like that's the right thing, because I believe science is a spiritual discipline, but that's a different topic. But like if you're in a regular household, you're going to try to find some medical or scientific, not only explanation but solution. But if you're in a religious household, especially a certain like strand of Christianity, 100%. And he talked about speaking in tongues. So I don't know if like that was part of like the fix.
Yeah.
But you knew somebody, right? Like the kid was having like
seizures.
Crazy. Was it seizures or nightmares or what?
The seizures where they were praying over them and trying to rebuke devils out of them instead of getting them medication. Yeah, it was seizures.
No. But there was another one where the kid had an issue and then somebody prayed over them like in tongues or whatever, and then he felt better afterwards, something like that. Like he was.
Oh, I can't remember the story right now.
Oh, okay.
Was I in college?
Yeah. But like, I would have.
Oh, I mean, I talked about my own stories that I would have these constant nightmares about death and stuff like that, and that somebody told me to, well, if there was something evil in the dream, to turn around and like say something to it.
Yeah, that was. No, there was an. Jordan Peterson was talking about that. He was talking about like his grandson or something, and there was this dragon, and Jordan told him, "Okay, next time you see the dragon, get a sword and take care of business." And so the kid did that, and then he was fine after that. Blah 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 blah. So but doesn't that like assume a certain level of lucidity in the dream?
But sometimes I think that even if you're not lucid, you remember, like, somebody told you to do something, so it's part of your memory.
You can pre-program your brain.
Yeah, just like they tell you that if you keep telling yourself to wake up at a certain time, like, you can train yourself to, like, some people can get so good at, like, actually, this was one of the things that I used to practice when I was learning about lucid dreaming and beginning to lucid dream, was they would tell yourself you need to wake up at a certain time of the night. So let's say you actually have to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Tell yourself at 2 o'clock you have to wake up.
Yeah, but how does your body know?
I don't know.
How does your body know, though?
I don't know. And I'd look at the clock, and it would be right about at 2 o'clock. I'd wake up, or whatever time it was that I said I was going to wake it up.
I wouldn't really use you as a... Your mind is incredible the way you do that shit with your dreams. But did I ever tell you about, like, I think it's a Chinese or a Japanese thought experiment of a butterfly. And there was a butterfly that dreamt that it was a caterpillar.
Oh my gosh, I hate this thing.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the question is, was it a caterpillar that was dreaming it was a butterfly, or was it a butterfly dreaming that it was a caterpillar? In other words, how do you tell
which one's the dream?
The difference between the dream world and the waking world? Like, how can you tell the difference? Because you have tactile sensations in a dream. That's interesting. So, like, you feel physical things in a dream, right?
You do.
Somebody hugs you, you feel like you're... So that is such a fascinating... That's an interesting concept.
Yep.
So where you can... In a dream, you're in a world. It's entirely developed by mentation, by the mind, but all your five senses are in play.
Yeah.
But none of it was, quote, real. So when you get into this world, the supposed real world, how do you tell the difference? Like, what are the specific lines that dictate this is reality, this was the dream world? Like, what's the difference?
For me, the only difference is when I'm awake, I'm never like, I wonder if this is a dream. I always know I'm awake.
Yeah, but
when
again,
I'm in the dream,
you're a lucid dreamer, so that doesn't work.
What do you mean?
You're a lucid dreamer.
Why wouldn't it work?
Because most people, when they're dreaming, don't know they're in a dream until they wake up.
Oh, yeah, but I'm saying speak to an expert.
Yeah. We got to follow up on this, Travis. I have many questions for you, sir.
Yep, there's lots of things he wants to talk this through.
But no, like that whole situation, bro, like if I look at what he's saying and I look at the lyrics, like it really challenges you to... That's what I'm saying, like I would have loved to see more, but probably just because I have a morbid curiosity. Because I feel like I know the guy. We exchange baby pictures, all types of shit. So now I'm like, yo, Trav, bro, help me out.
Fill in the details here.
You know what I'm saying? I really, really like the song. I like the song. It was good. Obviously, very thought provoking. The time thing. Hurt it for me a little bit just because I wanted to hear more and more from him, the band, that guitarist. Love the bassist. It was really, really good. Shout out to the drummer too. Their rhythm section was a little like that was also a little bit interesting, the way they did the rhythm section. Like, it seems like, but again, when you feature the bass at the beginning, like it kind of necessitates a drummer to be able to like maintain the rhythm but keep it subtle and not overpower everything. Like, that's one of those like Warrior in the Garden situations where it's like, okay, this is the theme of the song, so nobody's gonna OD here. And then the highlight of the song for me, because it was so subtle for most of the part, was those like soaring choruses. A 9.2 for me.
That's exactly what I had in my head.
Ha!
No way.
What,
yeah, I yeah.
Did you really?
I really did. I swear to you. Yeah, well, I liked it because it was, it was kind of smooth throughout the song. Like, I felt a smoothness to it, even though the topic was not smooth. Like, the music itself felt like the topic itself was kind of like, holy shit, I don't want to have that experience.
That boogeyman character, whatever, reminded me of that shit when I was in Jamaica. I don't know why in the world my dad allowed me to watch that shit. My mom would have been like, absolutely not.
I don't understand either.
That shit's crazy.
I thought the video, like the visuals, was super ambitious to bring a character like that into the video. Usually, 100%. That's a very difficult. I'm thinking of one specifically in my head that looked really like animated. Like I don't know. It didn't look right. The music video didn't look right. They were trying to create a scary scene. It didn't look right.
Yeah. Whereas this one,
I thought they did a damn good job for
pulled it off on this one,
I thought you guys did a damn good job. It kind of looked like one of those characters from Lord of the Rings, the ones that would come out of the ground. Those, I don't know if you remember
orcs,
them.
right?
Yeah, the orcs. Yeah, it kind of looked like an orc.
Yeah.
Anyway, so great job, you guys. They must be signed. Like, there's no way that these are unsigned. Yeah. So kudos to you guys. Good job. I'm giving it a 9.2, and so did you.
There you are, dear listener Trav. I have more conversations coming. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.